When I saw Jurassic Park in 1993, specifically that scene with the velociraptors running on the plane, my head exploded with the possibilities. I'd never seen anything like that. And I thought, I hope someday there's a tool that allows someone with minimal training to create something like that. And I had this vision of recreating that, but with Boston Terriers. And last year, Dall-E came out, which is a platform where you just describe in words what you want to see, and the AI draws it for you. And I was like, I know what I want to see. So I wrote in a herd of Boston Terriers running through a plane in the Jurassic era. I was expecting Spielberg, but I got Cronenberg. All this to say that a couple months later, when ChatGPT came out, I was not holding my breath when I asked it how it would gamify my training, but it surprised me. Let's see how it did. So chatbot, how do I gamify my training?
Gamification is the process of adding game-like elements to non-game activities to make them more enjoyable and engaging.
Okay, I really don't like that definition, but it's not chatbot's fault because it's what you hear all the time. It's important to include some mention of effectiveness, of impact on results, and not just aim at fun and enjoyability because relevance drives learner engagement. But go on.
Here are some ideas. Create specific goals for your training and reward yourself for reaching them.
Points for mentioning goals. Games excel at making goals clear and giving the learner constant updates about where they are with respect to that goal, and that actually helps you reach it. So yes. As for rewarding yourself for reaching them, it depends on how those rewards are implemented. What are we talking about here?
This could be something as simple as earning a virtual sticker for completing a certain number of training sessions.
Okay, if the training activity sucks, a virtual sticker, aka a badge, probably won't cut it. But I like that it's asking me to complete a certain number of training sessions. That repetition will probably have some impact on learning outcomes.
Or a real-life reward for reaching a major milestone.
You have to be careful with real-life rewards. In some cases where the learner was going to do the thing anyway, a real-world or extrinsic reward can actually extinguish the motivation to do it. That's not always the case, and it seems to depend on the type of activity we're talking about. But in short, tread very carefully with real-world rewards. What else?
Create a leaderboard. Encourage friendly competition by keeping track of your progress and comparing it to others.
Yes, leaderboards are part of PBL gamification for points, badges, and leaderboards. And yes, I spend a lot of time criticizing PBL because it's often used in ways that are not super effective. But there's no denying that among this unholy trinity, leaderboards are special because they touch something intrinsic in us, more than points and badges. And it's not just about competition. It can also be very motivating to see where you stand with respect to a general average. So kudos for singling out that particular one among the three.
Use game-based learning tools. There are many online platforms and apps that use game-like elements to make learning more fun.
Again, tread carefully. General platforms like a gamified LMS tend to force you into one-size-fits-all approaches to gamification. They'll often just pointsify everything and compare the points on a leaderboard, so we're back to PBL. But if you want more impact, you'll want to favor game mechanics that are content-specific, not one-size-fits-all.
For example, Duolingo is a popular language learning app that uses gamification to make learning a new language feel like a game.
Duolingo is a great example of a content-specific app that mixes cognitive and motivational mechanics. It keeps you constantly active, it helps you figure things out for yourself, and it's got all these motivational tactics like streaks and bonuses and player choice, so good example.
Make it social. Invite friends or coworkers to join you in your training and make it a social activity. You can motivate each other and make it more fun by setting challenges or friendly competitions.
Totally true. Of course, there's the motivational effects of competition and accountability, but beyond that, sharing the experience with other learners and seeing others reason through a problem can give you a different perspective on it. However, that effect is not specific to gamified training, so I feel like we're cheating a bit here.
Try to mix up your training routine by trying new exercises, changing the location of your training sessions, or incorporating new tools or equipment.
Okay, now it sounds like she's talking about the gym. But when you first build your challenges, it is a really good idea to introduce variety. And if you want examples, check out this video next. So variety is important to keep things fresh, but make it relevant. I'm not a huge fan of introducing variety just by incorporating shiny new tech. That could push you into gimmick territory. So overall, she paints a pretty broad picture of what's out there without necessarily picking the most effective elements. But what seems to be emerging is that the quality of the answer depends on the quality of the prompt, and she did so much better with a better question. So in 1 minute or less, chatbot, how do I make my training more effective using gamification?
Set clear goals.
Good job making that your first one. Every game mechanic should be based on your ultimate learning objective.
Use rewards and incentives.
We've been through this, but props here for mentioning intrinsic rewards like recognition and a sense of accomplishment. Those definitely beat a virtual sticker or a real-world reward.
Make it fun.
Fine. Fun and engagement do lead to effectiveness, but it's got to be productive fun if you want to avoid disengaging the learner.
Provide feedback.
Yep, make goals and current status clear. We've been through this.
Make it relevant.
I like how it says consider incorporating relevant elements. No kidding. But hey, you use the magic word, so good robot. Now, how do you think the robot did? Let me know in the
I
comments
should point
below.
out that there were no Boston Terriers in the Jurassic era. They are a relatively new breed and did not exist during the Jurassic period, which occurred, like, millions of years ago. But anyway, thanks so much for watching and she'll see you next time.